Pwede na ba akong mag-share, Jay? Sir Jay?
Yes, ma'am. Pwede na po.
Parang ayaw. Sige kung ayaw, Jay, ikaw na lang mag-present. Ano na lang, pa-share na lang ng
Sige,
screen.
ma'am. Sige po. Okay na, ma'am.
Okay, so good afternoon again. Okay, for the update on TESTA issuances, Sir Jay, slideshow po. Okay. So, okay, for the TESTA issuances, during the lockdown po, marami po tayong mga na-issueang TESTA circulars, memorandums, in related to the Tvet implementation. Okay? So, Sir Jay, doon muna tayo sa first page ng TESA issuances. Okay, thank you. Okay, so going back, ito po yung mga TESA issuances natin. Okay, to start with, during the May 19, 2020, TESA issued TC number 062, the guidelines in implementing flexible learning in Tibet. Okay, on June 8, 2020, the District of Muntiparlas issued Advisory Number 7, Series of 2020, on the trainers' training on facilitating e-learning sessions. June 24, 2020, the District of Muntiparlas again issued Advisory Number 11 in relation to the updated Learner's Profile Form, or the MISO 3-01 version 2020. June 27, 2020, TESTA Circular Number 66A, Series of 2020 was issued regarding the amendment supplemental guidelines on the Tibet arrangements towards the new normal during the COVID-19 crisis. Next slide, please. Sir Jay, next slide po. Okay, next. July 9, 2020, TESTA issued TC number 77, Series 2020, that is the special payment arrangements for the TVIs implementing TESTA scholarship programs. On the same date, TESTA Circular number 78, Series of 2020 was issued. This is all about the amended supplemental guidelines on TESTA scholarship programs under the new normal. On July 10, 2020, TESTA Circular number 81, Series of 2020 was issued regarding the guidelines on the online processing of program registration application under UPRAS. On July 20, 2020, TESTA Circular number 82, Series of 2020, on the procedures to start the Tvet program and the new normal was released. And on July 29, 2020, the District Office of Muntiparlas issued Advisory Number 15, Series of 2020, with regards to the registered programs with lapse migration period. Next slide, please. Okay, in relation to the implementation of Tibet, we have IATF issuances. Okay, the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, or the IATF-EID Resolution number 47, Series of 2020 dated June 19, 2020 was issued. Another in relation to Tibet, Memorandum Circular number 79 on the operational capacity to be adopted by government agencies and instrumentalities during a modified enhanced community quarantine. Okay, next slide po. Okay, thank you. So, we will just give you a brief background with regards po doon sa mga na-mention ko pang mga TESTA issuances. Okay, under TESTA Circular number 62, Series of 2020, that is the guidelines in implementing flexible learning in Tibet. These guidelines covers the management and implementation of flexible learning in the delivery of technical vocational education and training, or the Tibet. Okay, included in the guidelines are the flexible delivery arrangements. Okay, it was mentioned in the guidelines, the face-to-face learning modality, the online learning, the blended learning, the distance learning, and the combination of distance learning and face-to-face. Okay, next slide po. Okay. As a requirement for the issuance of Certificate of Recognition for Flexible Learning, ito po yung authority natin. Once we have secured the certificate, then we are authorized to implement the flexible learning. But of course, considering po yung pong mga supporting po natin with regards po doon sa go signal din po ng IATF. Especially now, nasa NECQ tayo. So, we are not allowed to conduct any face-to-face training. Okay. So, as one of the requirement, we have the letter of intent for adding or to add or to shift to the delivery mode. Yun pang na-mention natin kanina mga delivery modes like as blended learning. Another document that you have to submit is a certified true copy of the Certificate of Tvet Program Registration or your inyong pong CTPR for the applied program. Next one is the updated competency-based curriculum, indicating the flexible mode to be used. Okay? And another po is the list and profile of the trainers who will handle the Tvet program. The trainer must reflect that they have competency to deliver the Tvet program using the preferred flexible delivery mode. Or ito po yung certificate na nag-gain ng trainers natin upon attending yung training natin on the facilitating e-learning sessions. And the last one is the training plan po, which serve as a reference in implementing, monitoring, and evaluating the delivery of the Tvet. Okay, so yan po yung mga requirements that need to be submitted in order to secure the COR for flexible learning. Okay, next slide please. Okay. So na-mention natin a while ago po yung Certificate of FELS or the Facilitating E-Learning session by our trainer. In order po na ma-satisfy po yung requirement na yon, the District Office issued Advisory Number 7, Series of 2020, dated June 8, 2020, for the trainers training on facilitating e-learning sessions. Dito po, nag-request po ang TESDA Multiparlast District for you to endorse your trainers who will attend the FELS training po. Okay. So, the conditions were with basic knowledge in IT since the training will be conducted purely online, with ready e-learning materials such as the digitized copy, PowerPoint presentation, video instruction materials for at least one LO of the curriculum of the program being handled, or in the absence of item number 2, a copy of the CBLM and session plan. Kasi ito po yung gagamitin ng trainers on the demonstration during the FEL session. Okay, so ano po ba yung mga hiningi namin? We ask for the name of your trainers or participants na i-endorse from the TVI. Of course, the name of the TVI, the email ad of the trainer, wherein na-send po yung mga informations with regards sa link, username, etc. And then the contact number of the trainer. And of course, yung pong field of expertise ng trainer natin, the qualification, NC level. Okay, next slide please. Okay. So, the District Office of Multiparlas issued Advisory Number 11, Series of 2020, dated June 24, with regards naman po dun sa updated learner's profile form or the MIS 03-01 version 2020. Ito po madalas po itong nahawakan ng mga registrars natin in our technical vocational institutions. Okay. As approved, TESDA Data Privacy Manual version 1.0, series of 2020, and in compliance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012, updated learner's profile form or the MIS 03-01 version 2020 for the collection of enrollees information had been used effective June 15, 2020. Okay. The form is also can be downloaded through the URL. Ito po, https://tinyurl.com/mis0301 version 2020. Okay, for the information of all din po, this form is also available in our T2MIS or the TESTA Training Management Information System. So, ano nga ba yung difference from the old form or old template? So, actually, upon review po ng ating document, we have identified na more on the YP4SC portion. So, wala na po yun. Okay, for the information of everybody po. Just in case, hindi nyo pa po nasa site yung ating new learners profile form. Okay, next slide. Okay. TESA also issued TESA Circular Number 66A, Series of 2020, dated June 27, 2020. This is regarding the amended and supplemental guidelines on the Tvet arrangements towards the new normal during the COVID-19 crisis. Okay. So these guidelines include necessary measures and protocols to be taken by the institution, training centers, public and private, in preparation for the resumption of classes in accordance with IATF EID guidelines. So more on the protocols po to be observed during po nung ating face-to-face training. Okay. The implementation arrangement under the GCQ and as well po ng ating MGCQ. Okay. So, under the MGCQ, the face-to-face Tvet training and national assessment may now be conducted for all the training programs, but of course, considering po yung 50% ng training capacity and assessment capacity site po. So, ito po, paki-visit po nyo yan just in case po mag-shift po tayo sa NGCQ and you have your certificate of recognition and you are authorized to conduct po later on for the face-to-face. Okay. So, next slide, please. Okay. Okay, magkaroon lang po tayo ng idea for one of the interagency task force issuance, IATF, the Management of Emerging Infectious Disease, Resolution Number 47, Series of 2020, dated June 19, 2020. Ito po, pinakinggan po ng IETF yung ating pong request sa something to do po with the implementation of Tvet for TESDA. Okay, so na-mention po doon, it amends the omnibus guidelines on the implementation of community quarantine in the Philippines to include policies on the resumption of technical vocational education and training for areas placed under community quarantine. So dito po, guided po tayo dito dapat with regards po the implementation po ng ating mga Tvet programs. Okay, so next slide please. Okay. We have TESA Circular Number 77, Series of 2020, dated July 9, 2020. Ito naman po ay special payment arrangement for TVIs implementing TESA scholarship program. So, for dito pa lamang po, okay, so, ito pong circular na to, if just in case hindi nyo po na-receive, because we have only sent this to concerned TVIs, okay. The circular shall cover all TESA scholarship programs using the fiscal year 2019 and fiscal year 2020 funds, which are being implemented in CY 2020, but were postponed, interrupted due to the imposition of various community quarantine levels in the country. So, even po na meron po tayong scholarship program, let's say may scholarship allocation tayo for 2020, and yet hindi po natin na-receive yan, kasi ang kino-cover lamang po ng circular na to are those with funds allocation na 2019 na nag-spill over ng implementation sa 2020. And also those with 2020 funds or 2020 allocations na na-implement po ng year 2020 but na-interrupt or na-postpone po. So, bale, ito po ay payment arrangements with our TVIs na affected po nung pong implementation ng scholarship program na yun po, yung sa interrupted or postponed training scholarship programs. Likewise, these guidelines was issued to provide a special program for recovery and rehabilitation of affected TBIs during the COVID-19 crisis. Yun. In some way, sana naging financial assistance po sa inyo doon sa mga affected TBIs po natin. Ito pong special payment arrangement na to. Okay. So next slide, please. Okay, we have TESA Circular number 78, Series of 2020, dated July 9, 2020. This is on the amended or the supplemental guidelines on TESA scholarship programs under the new normal. So, just in case po, na hindi nyo po din na-receive itong circular na to, we have sent this circular to all concerned TVIs with scholarship allocations of the TESDA programs. Okay. So these guidelines cover all the existing scholarship programs of TESDA as is stipulated on the Omnibus Guidelines for TESDA scholarship programs as per TESDA Circular number 11, series of 2020, such as but not limited to the following. So these are the scholarship programs being implemented by TESDA po. We have the TWSP or the Training for Work Scholarship Program, the STEP or the Special Training for Employment Program, the PESFA or the Private Education Student Financial Assistance, the UAQT or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education. We have the TTSP or the Tulong Trabaho Scholarship Program, and of course, all other programs as approved by our Director General. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have TESA Circular number 82, series of 2020, the procedures to start Tvet program under the new normal. Okay, these guidelines cover the procedures in preparing for and implementing Tvet, activities to be observed by all TVIs to ensure health and security against the spread of the virus. So, more on na naman po doon sa health concerns po natin. Okay. Contains detailed procedure to serve as guide in monitoring of the implementation of training and health protocols. Ito po, yung mga need to be observed on preparing and implementation. So, pa-discuss po doon yung preparing for resumption of training. So, preparation po tayo dyan. And then, the resumption of on-site training. May mga considerations po tayo dyan, like yung mga need to be secure even from the LGU units po. Also, we have the disinfection of training premises. Yan, napaka-importante po. To ensure po yung ating are free from the COVID. Okay? On the on-site training, ano po yung mga needed natin to ensure during the training, like po nung do they observe po yung mga wearing of mask, okay, the social distancing, yan. Yan po yung mga kailangan natin i-consider po dyan. And then of course, kailan ba magkakaroon ng suspension of training? Yon. Siyempre po, yung mga factors that may contribute to the suspension of training first, once po na meron pong nagkaroon ng COVID, infected by the COVID, whether it's a trainer or trainee, during the training, automatically, the training shall be suspended. In case po na meron pong high risk or naging hotspot area po, yun pong location ng ating training institution, then i-require po yan ng LGUs na magkaroon ng suspension. So, even our training shall be suspended. And then, just in case po na mahuli po tayo na we are not observing the protocols, health protocols being implemented by DOH or the IATF. Yeah. Okay, so next slide po. Okay. The District of Muntiparlas issued Advisory Number 15, Series of 2020, dated July 29 for the registered programs with lapse migration period. Ayan. Okay, so on July 2, 2020, the Secretary, our Secretary, Director General Isidro S. La Peña, issued po Memorandum Number 255, Series of 2020, regarding the migration period of those affected by the pandemic, wherein it extended until December 31, 2020. So, ito po, to be clear to everyone, hindi po lahat nasendan po na nito. Kasi only those training institutions affected by the migration during this lockdown, kami po nag-send ng advisory. Okay, so I hope na-receive nyo po to, yung mga concerned TBIs po natin, particularly po doon sa sectors po ng construction and ICT. Okay, to mention few po, we have the programs on carpentry NC2, the masonry NC2 under the construction sector, uh, need to need to migrate po yung program na yan. We also have the visual graphic design, the 2D animation, and the 3D animation programs po. Yan po yung mga affected po na wherein in-extend po ng ating Director General the migration period. Okay. So, how about kapag hindi po tayo nakapag-migrate until December 31, 2020? This time, mag-a-apply po yung ating TESTA Circular Number 023, Series of 2019, on the amendment of Section 17, Sanctions and Penalties of the amended Omnibus Guidelines on Program Registration under the UTPRAS. Particularly Item E, wherein there's a failure of the TVI to migrate its program from NPR to WTR or from the all WTR to updated WTR within the prescribed period indicated in implementing guidelines of the relevant training regulations. Okay. So yung mga affected po dito actually are those po na ang due date of migration po is nung May, nung April, nung March, at ito po within the year. So kaya nga po in-extend na po yan until December 31, 2020. Okay. So ano pong mag-a-apply sa atin just in case we were not able or we failed to migrate our training program? Okay, so number 1 po for the concerned TVI, the revocation of the CTPR for the program concerned. Okay, so automatically, kapag 3D animation, 2D, VGD, masonry, carpentry, if you were not able to migrate the said programs until December 31, mapapawalang validity na po, yung visa na po yung ating CTPR. Next, there will be a full refund of the scholarship funds if payment was made. Okay. Next one, disapproval of payment of the scholarship funds if payment is not yet made. Just in case po, in-implement nyo pa po yung scholarship program po for those qualifications and you were not able to submit your billing until December 31, 2020, chances are, hindi po tayo mababayaran. So, we have to ensure na na-implement natin yung training program within the year and we have submitted the needed documents for the payment of the training costs and assessment fees. Okay, dito po maging mindful po tayo. The listing of programs concerned and or the TVI in the compendium and TESTA website. So automatically po, we will delist your program from our registry. Okay? Pag inabot na po tayo ng January 1, 2021. And the last one is the prohibition on the delisted TVI to apply for any program registration for a period of 3 years. So kita po natin, just in case tayo po yung concern dito, we're not able to migrate our program. So for the next 3 years, we will not be able to apply for any program po for registration. Okay, so hopefully clear po tayo doon. Next slide, please. Okay. We have this TESTA Circular number 81, series of 2020, dated July 10, 2020, the guidelines on the online processing of program registration application under UPRES. So, for the past years, lahat po ng training program applications natin were sent up on the hard copy sa district office. Under this circular, inaalaw na po tayong magproseso or mag-undergo po ng proseso through online. Okay. So this guidelines covers the online processing of program registration application under UTPRES as an alternative mode of processing of application for program registration in the normal state. So hindi nyo na po kailangang mag-submit sa amin ng kakapal na dokumento in order lamang po sa amin na ma-review and ma-process po yung inyong application. At the same time, hindi na rin po natin kailangan pong magkaroon ng face-to-face to visit po your area for inspection to check on the minimum requirements as specified po doon sa ating training regulations. And of course, yung pong process cycle time pa rin naman natin shall be observed. Okay. But of course, upon completion of all the requirements listed in our checklist. Okay. So, ano po ba yung mga naka-include doon sa ating TC81? The process include the new protocols in the processing of program registration. So, ano po ba yung mga kailangan natin pong i-observe in the submission of application? Okay, next is the fundamental requirements and activities prior to the conduct of online processing of program registration application documents. So, ito po yun pong mga kailangan po nating i-consider in the submission of our application po. Do you have the stable internet connection? Ayan, yes. One of the requirement. Okay. The online processing of program registration application. So, sisend nyo po yung documents po ninyo. Then we will review po yung po mga submitted documents. Okay? The use of e-signature on e-copy of the documents. Ayan. Siyempre po, i-observe pa rin din po natin yung extra careful, especially in the use of e-signature. So, kung kailangan po naka-PDF po yan, just to protect po yung e-signature po natin. Naka-state din po yan and naka-explain din po yan sa ating circular. And the last one is the use of online system in the online submission and processing of program registration applications. So, kayo po, you will be sending your documents po sa amin online. Once po na complete and recommendable na po yung ating application. Of course, based din po doon sa ating virtual inspection that shall be conducted, isi-send din po namin yan sa aming regional office through online. Ayan. Yun. So, kailangan lamang po nating isunod yung ating mga isasubmit based po doon sa checklist of requirements. And we have to undergo po yung kabuuan ng proseso. You will be attending po virtual orientation on the preparation of your documents. Makakaroon po tayo ng virtual inspection. Yun pong mga feedbacking din po namin with regards po doon sa mga findings or additional for compliance. We will communicate din po sa inyo through email, messenger, or makakaroon po tayo ng video conferencing for that. Ayan. So yun pong mga programs that need to be migrated till December 31, 2020. Ito na po yung gagamitin po nating guidelines or circular para po doon sa ating migration of programs. Okay, next slide please. Okay, so yesterday, meron pong mga na-identified na COVID hotspot area. Ito bonus na lamang po to. Kasi po, syempre on our side, ito po yung mga babantayan din po namin, especially during the implementation of scholarship programs. Kasi pag once na identified as one of the high-risk areas ang inyong pong mga location or address ng inyong institution, automatically po, we will be calling your attention for the suspension of training. Just in case lang naman po na nandun na po tayo sa MGCQ or you are conducting po yung pong face-to-face. Ayan. For now po, for Muntinlupa, we have there the Bayanan, Parañaque City, Barangay San Antonio, etc. Las Piñas, we have the Barangay CAE, Taguig, medyo marami. Yung pong Barangay Fort Bonifacio natin, isa po dyan. And Pateros, ayan, Santa Ana. So, from now on po, magiging vigilant din po kami on the pagbabantay po ng mga areas na meron po tayong hotspot for the COVID-19. Ayan. So, next slide please. Ay, thank you po. Hopefully po, na-receive nyo po lahat po ng ating mga issuances. If you're concerned po, hopefully na-receive po ninyo yan. Doon sa mga may scholarship programs, yun po sa mga general guidelines po natin. Okay, that's for the updates of TESDA issuances. I'm Lizelle Ramos. Good afternoon po. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Lizelle, for the updates on TESDA issuances. We hope that everybody has their own copies of that particular issuances of TESDA, especially in these times, in these trying times of pandemic. Okay? Muli, maraming salamat, Ma'am Lizelle. And this time, may we call on our District Director, Attorney Balmerson Valdez, para sa ang tinatawag na Director's Hour, presentation of the agreements during the first NCR Tvet Forum held on July 16, 2020. Sir?
Hello, thank you, Lizelle, and thank you, Leo. Medyo natuwa naman ako dun sa picture na nilagay niya.
Cute, sir.
Dapat panggabi yan. Anyway, panggabi o pag may COVID. To our dynamic and vibrant RD John Sunico of NCR, who always finds time to fit us in his busy schedule. Tignan nyo naman, nakapagsalita pa siya kanina. And thank you, sir, for the message. To NATSA President, Sir Danny Ayap, thank you for your assistance kay Sir Levy, sa kanya. Alam naman natin na laki ng naitulong niya sa ating mga programa. To energetic ATBS President, Dr. Yoli Aranja. Thank you, ma'am, dun sa mga vitamins na pinadala mo, na-distribute natin during ECQ sa mga barangays. So, thank you very much. To Ma'am Arias, our ATBS Executive Vice President. Good afternoon, ma'am. Other officers and members, Ma'am Glessy, Sir Nelson, fellow TESDA officers, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Before I proceed with my presentation, I just want to inform you that on July 10, we held our National Tibet Forum. So, headed by our very own Secretary Sid. So in that forum, we were able to discuss issues concerning the operations of the PBIs nationwide. And during that time, we provided them with the circulars we prepared during the time of ECQ. So pinakita namin kung ano ang ginawa ng TESDA during that National Tibet Forum. Then may mga issues and concerns na ni-raise, of which the Secretary answered at na-clarify niya lahat yon. So okay ang result ng National Tibet Forum, of which on July 16, Regional Director R.D. Jun Sonico conducted the first Regional Tibet Forum. So NCR na naman ang nauna. And now we are having this District Tibet Forum, of which we are going to cascade, re-echo, all the things that happened on the two Tibet forums. So now, later, we will be able to entertain some more queries and questions that you will raise, and hopefully we can provide you answers. At this Tibet Forum also, District Tibet Forum, we have given you additional updates and issuances which were never discussed during the two fora. So, nabanggit ni Ma'am Lisel kanina kung ano-ano yung mga yon, and any questions that you will raise on the presentation will be gladly entertained during the open forum. So, some say that you do not change your strategy in the middle of the game, but it's not true. Ngayon, pinipilit natin baguhin ang strategy natin for survival and transition so that we'll be able to make the necessary adjustment for a structured operation of TESDA programs. So now I will present you some or the highlights of what happened during the NCR Tibet Forum. Just reserve your questions, or you can put it in the chat box so that we'll be able to answer that after my presentation. Okay, first slide. Okay, these are the major topics discussed during the NCR Tibet Forum held last July 16. The first is about the flexible learning delivery. Just like what I've been saying, we have to change our strategy. Face-to-face is no longer allowed at this point, so we have to be adaptive to that situation. Next is the scholarship implementation. As you will notice, there are actually all districts in NCR or nationwide have a hard time hitting the target assigned to us at the start of the year. Because how can we implement if what we are doing is busy surviving? So that's one of the issue that all of us are facing right now. On the program registration and competency assessment and certification, we already made some adjustments on that. It was discussed a while ago by Ma'am Lisel. Pwede na yung mga online na allow na to avoid the submission of voluminous documents, something like that. And on facilitating e-learning, that is also one of the topics discussed. Facilitating e-learning, wherein, again, with a heavy heart, I would like to commend Sir Levy for spearheading the discussion during the district's facilitating e-learning sessions. So thank you, Sir Levy. And again, will never escape my mind to thank Dr. Danny IAP for extending his swift assistance to Sir Levy. Next slide. As you can see, these are the issues mentioned during the forum. Interrupted trainings. You can see financial assistance from TESDA, the answer of TESDA to the interrupted trainings. The resumption of face-to-face assessment, that is our problem right now because we are reverted back to MECQ. So the problem right now is that very far ang na ma-attain natin na magkaroon ng face-to-face at this moment. Another issue is the struggles of TBIs on adopting the flexible delivery. That's why we are trying to guide you and circulars that we are issuing and continuously doing definitely addresses the issue, that particular issue of the TBIs in adopting the flexible delivery of programs. Another issue is the TBI's attempt for temporary closure, which I will clarify in succeeding slide. Next. Next slide. As you can see, based on TESDA Circular 77, special arrangements for TBIs implementing TESDA scholarship programs affected by the community quarantine. In this circular, we have given you the options to submit your billings to respective district offices. Next slide. During the forum, it was emphasized that face-to-face is not yet allowed while NCR is still under GCQ. That was before. Right now, MECQ. So medyo a little more stringent requirement because of the reversion from GCQ to MECQ. Trainings can be conducted online, but assessment is temporarily suspended. During that time, if I remember it right, one TBI from Manila raised the issue on whether they can conduct assessment because of the need to deploy those people outside the country, but we are firm in our resolve that we cannot conduct face-to-face assessment at this point. Next slide. On the temporary closure of TBIs, which is one of the issue again, we stress that there is no such thing as temporary closure. It is recommended to adopt the flexible learning delivery. TBIs can register or offer ICT programs or diploma courses. Hindi naman namin pinapasara or hindi effect ng COVID-19 yung pagsasara. We are just changing our strategy para maka-implement tayo ng program, which is flexible learning. Next. Financial assistance from TESDA. We are glad to inform you that the payment scheme offered by TESDA through TESDA Circular 77 regarding special arrangement can be considered as financial assistance to the school. Other financial support to help the TBIs for their expenses while adjusting with the current arrangement is still for consultation. Nevertheless, NATSA suggested land banks loan offered to Tvet schools to continue their operations. Next slide. On the struggles of TBIs on adopting the flexible delivery, for the TBIs that are struggling to shift to flexible learning, NATSA and other TBI representatives offered and conducted capability building programs or webinars to assist institutions adjust to the given requirements. I remember this because it was offered by the leadership of NATSA during that time. The district of Mpltp had conducted orientations and online workshop sessions on the requirements and process for flexible learning delivery. It also continues to provide assistance to its partner TBIs to secure certificates of recognition for flexible learning. Next. Yeah, thank you very much for listening. I just want to inform you that of the 99 participants who attended this Tibet Forum, almost half or around 46 of you have already attended the NCR. So thank you very much for being here again. And hopefully, if you have any question, we can clarify it during the open forum. Leo, back to you.
Maraming salamat, Sir Bal, for the enlightening the agreements during the first NCR Tvet Forum held last July 16, no? Bago tayo magpunta ng ating open forum at wala pa kaming
Sir
nakikitang
Leo,
mga. Yes, sir.
Sir Leo, good afternoon.
Magandang
I
hapon
would
pa.
like to share yung report ni Director.
Apa.
Last July 25, the first series of the flexible learning strategy was already hosted by NATSA. It was attended by 300 participants from National Capital Region. So, meron tayo nung slide presentation na present ni Engineer Levi Traqueña. Those who like to have the copy, they can request the president of this district association. I will send them to our president. Meron na po ang presidente natin nung slide presentation, so it will help to those TBI na mag-a-apply ng flexible learning.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Sir Ed.
Meron pang dalawang series na darating. We will discuss with the NATSA board through the leadership of our president, Dr. Danilo Ayap. We will set the dates for the two series.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Sir Leo.
Maraming salamat, Sir Ed, for that sharing, no? At least mabibigyan. And for those, no? And for all the participants here, hindi lang sa mga nagre-request ng mga recording ng ating forum ngayon, we are happy to inform you that we will send it to you through your registered email, no? Lahat po. Sa mga hindi pa nagre-request, kahit hindi nagre-request, bibigyan po namin kayo. Okay? And konting patalastas, we would like also to acknowledge the active participation of St. Augustine School of Nursing Las Piñas, St. Samuel Institute of Technology, and our very own TESDA Women's Center, the CareNet Healthcare Institute, Step Up International, no? And we would like also to acknowledge the participation of our ACA, no? The Association of Competency Assessment, led by its president, Ma'am Glacy Repia Buwan, ma'am, and her officers. At isa pang paalala, for the attendance monitoring, nandun po sa ating chat box para po kayo makapag fill up ng ating attendance sheets in relation to the issuance of the certificate of participation later on. baka hindi kayo nakapag fill up ng attendance, wala po kaming basihan para makapagbigay po ng certificate of participation or attendance. Okay? So with that, we would like to open the floor for the open forum. Again, the rules is kung meron po kayong mga tanong, it's either pwede nyo pong ilagay sa ating chat box or you can raise your hand for the questions and we will provide you answers as much as we can. Sino pong unang buena mano pong magtatanong? We are on schedule. Yan po, nilagay po ulit namin yung attendance monitoring para sa inyong kaalaman. Naku, wala po yatang
Hello po.
Hello, ma'am. Sino po
Yes.
sila? Yes, ma'am?
Cherry Tuazon po from First Balfour.
Yes, ma'am. First,
Opo.
Ma'am Cherry.
First Balfour po, construction industry. Kaka-award lang po sa amin nung aming certificate. Fresh na fresh bago mag-lockdown. Tapos nag-lockdown. So, hindi kami nakapag-run ng courses. Ang question ko po, kasi yung pinaregister namin with Ma'am Lizelle before, sa guidance ni Ma'am Lizelle, was yung face-to-face. So, ganito po na nandito tayo sa new normal, kailangan po namin magpa-register po ba ulit for the flexible learning? Just to clarify lang po.
Yes, maraming salamat Ma'am Cherry at
Thank you, sir.
Una muna ay congratulations po sa inyo na kahit bago mag-lockdown ay nabigyan po kayo ng certificate of Tvet program registration, no? Andyan po si Ma'am Lizelle para Ma'am Lizelle.
Yes, sir. Okay. Hi, Ma'am Cherry. Good afternoon. First Balfour. Ayun. Ma'am, una sa lahat, hindi na po natin kailangang magre-register. Okay? I don't know, ma'am, kung aware po kayo ng TESDA Circular number 62 na na-said namin last time. But na-mention ko din po, na-discuss ko din po siya a while ago. So, based doon sa ating TESDA Circular number 62, in order for you po na makapag-conduct ng training during this time, kailangan makapag-shift po kayo sa flexible learning. Okay. And in order po na authorize po kayo to conduct flexible learning, kailangan ma-secure po natin yung Certificate of Recognition. So, as mentioned a while ago, meron po tayong 5 requirements na kailangan ma-satisfy in order po na ma-issuehan po tayo ng Certificate of Recognition. First, we have po nung ating letter of intent. May template po yan, ma'am. Letter of intent to add or shift to flexible learning. As mentioned po, we have 5 modes po dyan. We have the face-to-face, the blended, the distance learning, the full online, and the combination of distance learning po and the face-to-face. So, magtitik lang po tayo doon kung ano pong mode ang gusto po nating i-apply. Okay? The next one po is yung pong copy po ng signed, photocopy po ng signed CTPR po ninyo for the programs registered. Kailangan ma-forward din po sa amin kahit sa online po. And then meron po tayo nung requirement in terms po ng trainers, the list of trainers. Actually, ma'am, we have also sent po request for the endorsement po ng trainers natin through nga po yung ating advisory number 11. Wherein your trainer need to undergo po yung facilitating e-learning session in order na makapag-facilitate po sila ng flexible learning. Okay? Another one po is yun po updated competency-based curriculum po natin wherein naka-embed na po doon yung pong mode na gusto po nating i-apply po. Whether it's blended, full online or the distance learning. Kailangan naka-incorporate na po dun sa ating CBC kasi as you all know po, nung in-apply nyo nga po yan, naka-face-to-face pa po siya. And another one po is yung pong ating training plan. Okay, yung training plan po, meron po tayong prescribed template for that. Naka-attach din po yan sa TESTA Circular number 62, wherein magsuserve po siya as monitoring po and evaluation po nung nakoconduct po nating training. Just in case po ma'am, na-send po namin yan sa ibang emails for BAL4, we will ensure po na ma-send po sa inyo ngayon yung circular na ito. Yung TESTA Circular number 62, ma'am. Ma'am Cherry,
Thank you, Ma'am Lizelle.
welcome po. Sir Leo. Sorry po ma'am, i-add ko na nga lang din po. Ma'am, for Ma'am Cherry, parang meron na rin yata kayong trainer na nakapag-attend ng facilitating e-learning. Kindly check po. Kasi alam ko po nakapag-endorse po kayo and nasama po namin yun sa lineup for the facilitating e-learning po.
Ano yung question?
Okay, so,
Klaro po ba yan, Ma'am Cherry?
Yes, sir.
Nasagot ba ng maayos yung katanungan po ninyo, Ma'am?
Opo, sir. Nasagot naman po. Actually, yung aming CPTR, hindi ko pa po nakiklaim dyan. Kasi inabutan na kami ng lockdown.
Oh, ganun.
Nandyan pa po sa opisina yung CPTR.
Wala na, na-lockdown na, wala na yun. Joke lang po. Naka-keep safe naman po lahat ng ating mga dokumento po dito sa distrito ng Monteparlas, Tapan. Okay? So maraming salamat, First Balpor. We have another questions from our chat box from Sid, si Mr. Montalban. Is there a deadline na po on the submission of the supporting documents for the flexible learning? Thank you so much. No? Again, may we call again our Utpras Vocal, Ma'am Lizelle?
ayun, wala naman po tayong deadline, sir. But of course, Sir from Seed, ine-encourage po sana namin as much as possible po, makapag-submit na po tayo ng mga documents natin for flexible learning. Kasi po, once po na pumasok na rin po yan sa aming email account, we do our best effort po kami na ma-review yung mga requirements natin. At the same time, malay po ba natin, baka later on po makapag-MGCQ na po tayo and makakapag-apply po kayo for flexible learning for blended, then right away po pwede po tayong makapag-start po ng training. So as much as possible po, if you can send po your applications, the requirements for flexible learning, isend nyo na po sa email account po namin. Okay. Thank you po.
Okay, maraming salamat, Ma'am Lizelle. No? Tingin ko wag ka nang umalis dyan. From De La Salle Sobel, will there be another e-training for the certification by FELS for the trainers who were not able to pass the certification? Ma'am Lizelle.
Yes, sir. Yun po. Okay. Sir, meron pa po tayong training. Actually, what we're waiting right now po kasi is yung sa username and the password. Meron po actually po tayong naka-line up po ngayon na attend po ng training. And based naman po with the regional office, hanggat meron pong magre-request for the FELS or facilitating e-learning, i-accommodate pa rin po namin kayo. Okay. So only those po na let's say nakapagpa-line up po noon tapos hindi po sila umattend. So yung slot po na yon actually is nasayang. Ibabalik po namin po kayo ulit doon sa line up. But of course po, consider na po natin yung mga nakaunang nakapila. But for now po, continuous pa po yung ating conduct ng FELS. Yun. Thank you po.
Ayan, maraming salamat again, Ma'am Lizelle. Nasagot po ba, Ma'am, ng SID Academy? I mean, yeah, Sid. Okay? Hello, Ma'am Mr. Montalban. Na klaro po ba yung sagot ng ating Utpras Vocal? Hello, Mr. Montalban. Okay, mukhang busy si Mr. Montalban ng Sid Academy. Now, coming from Bamo, pwede po bang mag-endorse ng trainer for PELS? So again, ulitin ko na lang po yung sinabi ni Ma'am Lucelle just to facilitate it very quickly. Pwede pa po, no? Just send your trainers. Meron po kaming sinend na template para sa basic information regarding the trainers to be endorsed. Okay? Klaro po ba yon, Ma'am Libor ng BAMO? And next is from Marymount. Good afternoon. For scholarship voucher, pwede po bang gamitin outside Muntiparlas? No? Ibabato po natin yung tanong sa ating kagalang-galang na District Director, Balmerson Valdez, sir.
Thank you, Leo. As to the question on whether the scholarship vouchers can be used outside Muntiparlas,
Yes, sir.
definitely no, but your students can come from outside Muntiparlas. Yun yung sagot.
Maraming salamat, sir. Sa napakaiksi pero napakalaman na at klarong sagot. Okay. Meron po itong isa pang katanungan coming from Fair Employment. As indicated in TC81, workshop and training spaces should be reconfigured to observe 1 meter social distancing, and TBIs may consider placing temporary barriers. Will the temporary barriers replace the 1 meter social distancing requirement? Sir?
We have to comply with the guidelines. So kung 3 meter or 1 meter or 2 meters ang kailangan as part of social distancing, so we have to follow. Additional lang yon kung if you like to put some barrier, pwede, but definitely hindi pwedeng below the minimum prescribed requirements ng social distancing ang gawin natin. Thank you.
Thank you again, sir. At next from Sub Global, no? I think this is for Ma'am Lizelle. Pwede po ba mag-apply for e-learning session kahit wala pong CTPR? Ibig sabihin, hindi po sila registered training provider. Ma'am Lizelle, please.
Ayun po. Actually po, inaalaw naman po natin yun, especially kung may letter of intent na po sila sa atin na
Okay.
mag-a-apply po sila for program registration. Of course, in preparation din sa completion ng documents po nila, inaalaw na rin po natin na makapagpa-line up po sila for facilitating e-learning. Thank you po.
Okay. Klaro po ba yun, Ma'am
Thank you po, Ma'am
Lorely?
Yes po, sir. Thank you po.
Welcome
Okay.
po.
Thank you po. At meron pong pahabol na tanong dito si Ma'am Porcia Santos, no? Ma'am Lizelle. Ito yung napakabigat na tanong. Meron po bang format ang training plan?
Ayun. Meron po, ma'am. Nasa TESTA
Ayan.
Circular number 62 po yan, naka-attach. Okay? Pa-check na lang po kung hindi nyo pa po na-receive yung TC. Isisend po namin yung kabuuan ng TC, ma'am. Nandun po yung prescribed form po natin or template for training plan po. Thank you po.
Ma'am Porcia, we miss you. Ayan po ba si Ma'am Porcia? Ma'am Porcia, gumalaw po
Yes,
kayo.
sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Miss you, sir.
Okay, meron pang isang follow-up question from Fair Employment. Ito, magandang tanong ni Ma'am Amy Gloria. During MGCQ, if you have trainees who cannot come to Manila because of lack of transportation, can these trainees take their institutional assessment in their province if institutional assessment to at least sa school to, no? If we can have a MOA with an assessment center in their province. I think Sir Bal, sir.
Hello. As to the question, if they can take an assessment outside Muntiparlas Tapat, first, for now, hindi pa inaalaw ang assessment. And soon, tingin ko naman pwede kang mag-take na assessment kahit saan. Tingin ko. National. National assessment?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. But in addition to that, yung tanong mo, Ma'am Amy, can these trainees take their institutional assessment in their province? No? But basically, the institutional assessment, it's up to your institution. If you allow that, because that is your institution, that is your internal rules. Ma'am Amy, nasagot po ba na maayos yung tanong po ninyo?
May I speak?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, so now just for clarification, so what are the steps for us to be able to do that? We need to have a MOA with an assessment center in the province where the trainees are. Is that what we need to do?
Sir?
Maybe we can explore that possibility, ma'am, because of the extraordinary circumstance that we are in right now. Yes. For the sake of the students naman, anything is possible as long na ma-certify din natin sila if they are really deserving to be certified. Madali lang po namang mag-MOA. Hindi tayo strict sa kanyang protocol.
Okay, thank you. Because we were just thinking of creative ways to help trainees to be able to get their assessment. That's why we're thinking of these things. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. As long as we can justify our objective, then I guess we can do it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Director. Thank you po, Ma'am Amy from FTC. We have last 3 questions. And if you have still some na hindi nyo pa nailalagay, ilagay nyo po sa ating chat box and we'll reply to you as soon as possible. Okay? So we have last 3 from Christ the King. Good afternoon. May trainer po kami na hindi nakapag-assessment sa PELS pero natapos po niya yung training. Uulit po ba siya ng training or assessment na lang po? Ma'am Lisel, please.
Yun po, sa case po na yun, sir, demonstration na lang po ang kailangan niya. Hindi na niya po kailangan mag-undergo po nung kabuuan po ulit ng training, especially kapag na-earn na rin po niya yung e-certificate po niya. So, kung sinasabi mo yung demonstration na lang or assessment na lang, so i-check pa rin po namin po yung development site, whether talagang yun na lang po ang kinakailangan, or kung talagang na-satisfy or na-comply na po niya yun, then he can proceed po with the demonstration. Pwede pong i-add na lang po talaga natin sila doon sa list ng FELS po natin for the next session. Thank you po.
Thank you,
Sir Gerson, nasagot po ba ng maayos yung katanungan po natin?
Yes po, sir. Yes po.
Opo. So, thank you, Sir Gerson from Christ the King. From Prince CMT, may TWSP na po ba para sa domestic works NC2 sa ngayon? Prince CMT, kinagagalak po naming ibalita po sa inyo, meron pong domestic works NC2, no? Ganun pa man, no, sa ating kalagayan ngayon, wala pa rin po tayong implementasyon ng scholarship program. So we will inform you the ones that we have, no? We will resume implementing scholarship program. Okay, Prince CMT, naklaro po ba?
Yes po, sir. Thank you, Sir Leo.
Thank you, sir. At from Las Piñas, Manpower, kay Engineer Sir Noel Cuevas. Good afternoon, sir, ma'am. Is the issuance po ba ng Certificate of Recognition per course or TBIs? Ma'am Lisel, please.
Ayun po. Per qualification po, sir, ang issuance po natin ng Certificate of Recognition. So, whatever po yung in-apply po ninyo, yung po lang po yung katapat na document, then isang Certificate of Recognition lang po. So, per training program po ang application and issuance po natin ng Certificate of Recognition. Thank you po.
Sir Noel. Sir Noel Cuevas. Ibig sabihin per course po, per training program po yung pag-apply po ng Certificate of Recognition.
Noted, sir. Noted.
Thank you, Sir Noel. And lastly, we have Ma'am Ronalyn from CAP Training. Ma'am, ask lang po namin kung meron na po bang voucher para sa caregiving po. Thank you po. Again, as early as February, we have informed all TVIs, no? Na meron na pong TWSP step allocation, no? Para sa inyong katanungan, kung meron na pong voucher, no? Ang caregiving po nasa TWSP allocations po natin. At titingnan po namin kung nakapag-submit po kayo ng scholarship allocation. Ano po, Ma'am Ronalyn? Ma'am Ronalyn? Hello, Ma'am
Rona po.
Ronalyn? Apo,
Sir, Rona po.
Ma'am Rona.
Opo.
Nakapag-submit po ba kayo ng SAP o yung scholarship allocation plan way back November 2019 to December?
Opo. Sa pagkakaalam ko po, nakapagpasa po kami ng sir.
Okay. Anyway, ma'am, we'll get back to you with regarding to your inquiry kasi hindi natin po pwedeng siguro baka nakapag-submit but we have to verify it sa ating database kasi kung
Opo.
wala po tayong submission, meaning hindi po tayo nabigyan ng allocation. However, sa kapanahonang ito, no, medyo titingnan natin, iwiwiin din natin siguro yung kalagayan kung makikita nyo from GCQ to MECQ at hopefully sana bumaba na yung bumaba na po yung yung mga incidents ng mga infected individuals, no? Para at least the soonest possible time ay makapag resume po tayo ng operation.
Thank
Ma'am
you po,
Rona.
sir. Opo, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. So again, we have extra time. We accommodate 3 more questions, no? From Lyceum of Alabang. Question regarding the registered program lapse migration. Nag-advise po ang district sa amin na isosurrender po ang COPR ng carpentry namin dahil hindi po na migrate. Hindi na po ba kasama sa extension period until December to migrate kasi pinasurrender na po yung permit namin.
Does that mean we can start with on-learning as per
Ma'am
Lisa's
Lisel.
statement? Thank you.
Okay po. Yun. Ma'am Faith, no, from Lyceum of Alabang. Regardless po kung na-surrender na po yung CTPR or nasa possession pa po ng training institution, na affected po ng ating program subject for migration, need pa rin po natin mag-migrate, ma'am. Okay po, in order po na hindi po natin ma-experience po yung pong mga sanctions and penalties in relation po doon sa non-migration of programs po. Particularly po yung 3 years non-application, 3 years po na hindi po tayo makakapag-apply ng any training program. So we encourage po na you migrate your training program po within the year. Yan po. Thank you, Ma'am Faye.
Ma'am Faith, nasagot po ba ng maayos?
Sir, follow up lang po.
Yes, ma'am.
Clarification lang po. Ibig sabihin po ba, as in new reapplication na po ba yung program na yun kapag ka na-surrender na po si TPR?
Yes, ma'am. New application po, yung pong lahat po ng mga programs natin subject for migration ay talagang re-registration po yung proseso po natin. So, kailangan po natin i-submit yung full documents at mag-undergo po tayo ng kabuuan ng proseso like virtual inspection. Ayun, yun po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Naklaro po, Ma'am Faith.
Klaro po, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. At dito pa yung mukhang ngayon lang umiinit yung mga katanungan from Sir Edgar Romero from Sakura. Hi, hello sir, ma'am. I just want to ask if there's a limitation on the number of TBI reps to undergo e-learning seminar. Thank you. Ma'am Lizelle.
Actually, yun po. Actually, na-observe ko nga po from Sakura, parang napakarami po nating ini-endorse for FELS po. But kahit po marami po tayong ina-endorse, ang ginagawa lang din naman po namin, of course, ay hindi po right away lahat po yan isasalang natin at the same time. Kasi considering all TBIs po natin and all our programs na registered po. For now po, kaya pa naman po nating i-accommodate yan, but by schedule nga lamang po. But we will accommodate po. Best effort po ang district office. Thank you po.
Thank you po, Ma'am Lizelle. And may follow-up po sana ako. Kung okay
Yes,
lang
sir.
po.
Yes, sir. Sige
Regarding
po.
po dun sa, I think, hindi registration no update ng sa online learning. Kasi po magsasubmit po ulit ng CBC and training plan na parang nakakonvert siya ng online or blended. So, okay lang po ba na halimbawa mag-submit na yung LMS is on process pa po?
Oh, yes, sir. Actually, mas maganda nga po yan para habang po inaayos nyo yung LMS, nire-review na rin po namin yung CBC. Ang importante po, magja-jay po yan. Kung minention nyo po yung mga platforms po sa CBC at training plan, dapat siya rin po yung naka-reflect or available po doon sa learning management system po natin. So,
And,
pwede naman po yun, sir. Ang i-ensure nyo nga lamang po, pag once na okay na po yung documents ninyo, ay naka-ready na rin po yung system po ninyo for virtual inspection.
Apo. And regarding po dun sa CBC, we have the basic core and common na nakalagay doon.
Yes,
so,
sir.
okay lang po ba dun sa LMS namin, hindi siya mismong, kasi yung nasa CBC namin na nakasubmit na documents, nauna ang basic, sumunod ang common, and sumunod yung core. So sa LMS po ba, kahit nagka-ano po ba sila? Halimbawa, nauna yung core, and then nasa ilalim na yung mga basic and common. Okay lang po ba na parang nag-mix ng konti as long as nandun po yung mga yun? Or is it necessary na kailangan kung ano yung nakasulat sa CBC, ganun din yung ayos niya sa LMS po?
Sir, kung ayos lang naman, tingin ko wala pong magiging problema. Ang importante po, pag tinuro po ninyo yan pong mga competencies, at least simulan natin sa basic, then common, then core. Yes po.
And then habang ongoing na yung course nila, okay lang po ba na nababanggit ulit, nahahalo-halo po ulit? Okay lang po ba yun?
Depende po sa halo, sir. Baka mamaya nakaka-confuse na po sa mga students natin. Kailangan klaro sa kanila po yung mga competencies na gusto po nating i-share po doon sa mga students po natin. Ganito na lamang po, I would suggest po yung user-friendly. Especially mga students po, yung mga yan, hindi po nila right away. Yun na lang po siguro yung i-ensure po natin. And of course, every now and then, guided po yung mga students natin. Ano po yung mga pinapakita nating mga materials doon. For what LO or for what unit of competency corresponds po yun. Yun po.
And last na po, since language sector po kami, Japanese language to be specific, yung po bang study guide and technology plan na parang nakita namin sa TOP, ganun din po yung kailangan namin gawin din po dun sa LMS namin. Do we have to provide the study guide and technology plan also?
As much as possible po, sir. Kasi po yun po talaga yung guide po ng students po natin. Make it available in your system.
Okay po. Salamat po, Ma'am Lizelle.
Welcome po.
Thank you from Sakura. Okay, next from Ospin International, clarification only. We have submitted all documents for the blended learning. Does that mean we can start with the online learning of our course, Ma'am Lizelle?
Ayun. Obviously po, sir, hindi pa. Kasi kahit provided po na nasubmit na po natin yung documents, we don't have any evidence or supporting proof na nagsasabi na authorized na po tayo to conduct the training. Ayun, yung pong pag-submit po natin shows only completeness and readiness. But until such time na na-secure po natin yung certificate of recognition, we have passed po yung virtual inspection on the navigation of your LMS, that's the time lang po tayo authorized po makapag-conduct ng training. Okay. So, bale, COR po. Yun pong pangahawakan natin and the guidelines whether we are authorized to conduct training, especially po kung may face-to-face po yan. Ayun. So, thank you po.
Thank you, Ma'am Lizelle. No? Ma'am Ospin, naklaro po ba yung concern po natin?
Ms. Lizelle, can I have a follow-up question?
Yes, go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Sir, basing on the learner's profile form, can I also upload this in our learning management system so that it would be easy for the learners to complete as well?
Sorry, again,
your learner's profile form, can I also upload it on our own learning management system?
Yes, ma'am. Actually po, all po yan, ma'am. Kasi yan po yung magiging collection of information from our students. Actually, that's part of our requirement, ma'am, for the MIS.
No problems. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. At again, no? Last two na lang ito, ma'am, no? Siyempre kay Ma'am Portia Santos ito eh. Ma'am Portia, galaw-galaw ka dyan, ma'am. Naka-steady ka na naman, ma'am. Ma'am, paano yung naipit ang training dahil nag-lockdown na? Ano na po ang mangyayari sa assessment nila? Mukhang ano to. Ma'am Portia, ako na po sasagot, ano?
Yes, sir.
Yung naipit, hindi na wala tayong magagawa dyan. Naipit na po yan, ma'am. Ibig sabihin, una muna, ma'am, i-address muna natin yung training, ano po? At isasabay na rin natin assessment, no? Katulad po ng nabanggit po natin sa mga nauna, hanggat wala po tayong go signal from the IETF and the concerned local government units allowing us to resume, no? Our operation in the conduct of training and assessment, hindi po tayo pwedeng mag-go. Ibig sabihin, hindi tayo pwedeng mag-proceed, no? So, therefore, antayin po natin, ma'am, no? Antayin po natin kung kailan tayo pwedeng mag-resume ng training. Kahit nga naipit, alam po natin ang daming naiipit po ngayon. Hindi lang po sa training hanggang sa pantalan, hanggang sa airport. Marami pong medyo nalalagay sa alanganin. Pero kailangan nating sumunod sa itinakda ng ating gobyerno para sa kaayusan ng lahat. So sana maipaliwanag natin sa mga naipit na mga, o ibig sabihin, mga na-stranded na training schedule, at the same time yung assessment na paliwanag ng mabuti yung kalagayan natin dito, especially sa pagkakandak ng training at competency assessment, Ma'am Portia.
Okay. Thank you,
Maraming
sir.
salamat.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Again, nagbabalik ang SID Academy, Sir Arnel. Last question, no? Maganda ito. Last question po. Parang alam mo talaga, Sir Arnel, no? Do you have to apply for flexible learning po ba before we start the academic year? Thank you again. Ma'am Lisel, please.
Ayun, for the registered program po, Sir from SEED, naturally po, need po natin makapag-shift sa flexible learning, okay, makapag-submit ng mga requirements, maipasa po yung ating virtual inspection for the LMS just to ensure po na meron po nga kayong system to be used for the conduct of flexible learning. And of course po, ma-secure po yung certificate of recognition and observance po ng mga IATF protocols and guidelines. And test the guidelines as well po. Yun po.
Okay. So, naklaro po ba yun, Sir Arnel Montalban from SID Academy? Sir Arnel? That is the last questions for this forum. At before we proceed sa ating closing remarks, may we call again our District Director, Attorney Balmerson Valdez, for some for his guidance. Sir?
Thank you, Leo. Again, good afternoon to everyone for the second time. I just want to give some reminders. First, for all questions that we cannot accommodate, you are free to put your questions on the chat box. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. We will call you, or somebody from our office will coordinate with you and give you answers. So pakilagay na lang po dyan yung mga questions nyo, and we'll give you answers. First, I want to remind you to undergo practicing COVID-19 preventive measures in the workplace. Dito sa TESDA, ginawa na namin lahat yan, all employees. Available po yan dun sa POP natin. Makikita nyo, ang pangalan is Practicing COVID-19 Preventive Measures in the Workplace. Not only you, the owners of TBI, pati yung mga staff nyo, including your family. Importante po yan kasi we are faced by an unseen enemy. So kung hindi tayo prepared, hindi natin alam ang gagawin natin to protect ourselves, definitely will be part of statistics pagka nagkaganyan. So please, we will monitor it, and magiging part kasi yan when you conduct your training online. Isa yan sa magiging requirement sa mga estudyante, that they should also undergo yung online program na yan, Practicing COVID-19 Preventive Measures in the Workplace. Next reminder po is for you to submit your billings. Kung may mga nakapending pa sa inyo, please submit. Because we understand your predicament right now. Lahat medyo magulo na, ang mga tao nawawalan na ng trabaho, and naintindihan namin na wala kayong operations, and if that is the only way where we can help you, please submit yung mga pending billings nyo. And another one is give us the list of NISP findings kung meron sa inyo napunta ng NISP, so that we will try as fast as possible to resolve the issue para mabayaran na rin kayo. You can put the name of your TBIs dun sa chat box, ilagay nyo lang NISP, so I can check dun sa records natin at ma-resolve natin kaagad. Yun lang po, and thank you very much for being here with us virtually, and in a few days or weeks, mag-meeting at mag-uusap tayo. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, sir.
Maraming salamat, sir. And now, sa ating pagtatapos, tinatawagan po ang Executive Vice President ng Association of Technical Vocational School of Monteparlas Tapat District, Ma'am Evela Arias, para sa kanyang mensahe. Ma'am Biel?
Good afternoon.
Magandang hapon, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much to our indefatigable RD Jun Sunico, District Director Bal Valdez, and his tireless team from Testa Multiparlas Tapat. Also to NATSA President Dr. Ayap and the Executive Secretariat, Mr. Ed Lim, ATBS President, and the rest of the officers. Thank you for another fruitful learning experience. I also wish to convey our gratitude to all the stakeholders who are with us this afternoon. Our district has been and will always be the beacon of light for all TDI's journey under the new normal. Maraming salamat. Consistent po talaga ang ating district. And true to its mandate, TESDA is abot lahat. Our transformational leader, Secretary Peña, the rest of the RDs and DDs, have reached out to all sectors of our clientele. That is to guide us on how to be relevant and functional at the needs of COVID-19. There are challenges, but the several webinars and virtual meetings, most of us are there, has one clear emphasis: to strengthen partnership and better serve our clients. I would like to remember the A's that our RD often say: agility, meaning move fast; adaptability, we have to adapt because each of the training centers are this specific culture. One that can be effective to another may not be with our own. So we really have to adapt. I wasn't able to attend the July 16, but managed to walk through the video at the YouTube. And I am very much impressed with one who said that let us stop looking for problems. Let us find solutions, complementing to our own centers and TDI's culture. Because as I said earlier, what works for a TDI may not be ideal for another. We can't be uniform because we have different programs, but we can all be together in complying, coping, adopt, and get set. We need to strategize. In closing, again, let me thank everyone. And just as I would often say, we've been working hard, but I guess working hard may not be enough. Let us work smart. Thank you for this wonderful afternoon. Thank you, Director Sunico, Director Bal, and the rest of the stakeholders under Multiparlas Tapat TESDA. Salamat po. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Biel.
Sir Leo.
Yes,
afternoon.
Sir Ed. Yes, sir. Yes, Sir Ed.
May I request to ask for a second silent prayer for our NATSA Vice President,
Go ahead, sir.
Engineer Levy Traqueña.
Not just for a second, but even for a minute or an hour, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Just to pray for him for speed recovery. Just a silent prayer lang po. Salamat, Sir Leo.
We join everybody to please pray, include in our daily prayers for the immediate healing of our friend, our partner, for complete healing of Dr. Levi Traqueña. Thank you very much, Sir Ed, for that.
Thank you. Amen. Amen. Oh.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. So again, mula sa ating pamunuan ng TESDA, NCR, Muntiparlas Tapat, kami po ay taus-pusong nagpapasalamat sa inyo sa inyong pakikilahok sa ating talakayan ngayong hapon at naway magkita-kita po tayo ng personal sa lalong madaling panahon. Maraming salamat at mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Salamat
Thank
po.
you po.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
po.
po.
Thank you po.
Thank you very much.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Sir Leo.
Everyone, Compra, thank you.
Ang ganda.
Hello po.
Ganda-ganda ni Ma'am
God bless po sa inyo.
Lisel.
Ma'am Susan.
Hi, RD.
Apo.
God bless.
Thank you
Hi,
po.
Ma'am Bell. Thank you, Ma'am Bell.
Bakit ang ganda ni Ma'am Lisel sa
Thank you,
cam?
Sir Bal.
Ano yun?
Ma'am Bell.
Thank you, Sir Alan, ng Infotech cam.
Hi, thank you po, sir.
Hi, Kumare Bell.
Hello, Dr. Yoli Arandia.
Hi, attorney. Hello.
Hello, Sir
Student ka
Leo.
pala, my friend.
Hello, Sir Nelson.
Yes.
We miss you.
Parang DJ ka pala, Sir. Galing.
Ma'am Lisel. Sir Leo.
Yes, attorney. Good afternoon po. Thank you po.
Kumusta?
Okay.
Okay lang po.
Hello everybody. Would like to inform you again that we are being monitored under the YouTube channel, no? Live streaming po tayo. Yung mga gustong mapanood ulit. At
Naka-YouTube.
also to remind you na we will send this recording to your registered email. Thank you and magandang hapon po.
Thank you, Mr. Leo.
Thank you, Sir Leo.
Thank you po, RD. Thank you, RD.
Thank
you,
you,
RD.
RD.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Attorney Bal.
Salamat
Bless
po.
us all. Keep safe.
Ma'am Lisel, thank you.
Dr. Bal.
Sir Len.
Yes.
Ma'am Bell.
Thank you.
Ma'am Yuli.
Babay. Hello po, Dr. Neil.
Ma'am Lisel, nakapag-submit na kami. Nasaan na yung certificate of recognition ko?
I-endorse na lang po natin, attorney. Mag-inspect pa po tayo ng LMS, then i-endorse na natin.
Oh, sige. Mag-ready na
namimiss lang isa't
Yes,
isa.
attorney. Yes po.
Okay. Okay.
Anong ready, bye-bye.
Dr. Ayoli.
Hi po.
Dr. Ayap, where are you? Dr. Ayap.
Bye-bye.
Tahimik na.
Ala na.